This is your news source evening bulletin for today, Tuesday, the 4th day of September in the year 2018. Here's what we're tracking tonight. As the nationwide strike by teachers continued today, some schools in Georgetown were badly affected, as a majority of teachers stayed away. But at many of the top high schools, there was a large turnout of teachers. In many cases, teachers were in the classrooms conducting classes. At the country's leading high school, Queens College, the administration was seen conducting registration for the intake of sixth form students for the new academic year. The staff room appeared relatively populated as per normal, as some teachers were engaged in the classroom. School officials, however, did not want to offer any comment. At the Bishop's High School, classes were taking place as normal, with even assignments and tests being given. One teacher told news source that all of the teachers at the school were on duty and have been reporting to the classroom and conducting classes. Over at St. Joseph High School, a senior teacher told news source that just about half of the school's teachers were on duty today. Some others were attending classes at the University of Guyana, while one reported sick. When news source visited St. Stanislaus College on Brigham, students were out in full numbers, but teachers could not be found in the classrooms. Many of them remained in the staff room as their form of protest. At other schools across the country, it appeared as though many of the teachers were in the school but not in the classrooms. Protests continued today in several other parts of the country as many teachers stepped up their support for the strike action. At a press conference last evening, the Education Ministry encouraged parents to send their children to school since the contingency plan for substitute teachers had been activated. The ministry and the Guyana Teachers Union remain at an impasse over the increase in salaries for teachers. Minister within the Ministry of Social Protection who has responsibility for labor, Keith Scott, has issued an apology to the nation's striking teachers. At a recent bursary event, Scott described the striking teachers as selfish and uncaring for their actions. In a statement issued through the Ministry of the Presidency today, he said he would like to offer his sincerest apologies to the teachers of Guyana. He said he regrets making such an inflammatory and hurtful statement, and that he has always and will always hold the teachers of the country in the highest regard. He said it was never his intention to be disrespectful of or to downplay the legitimate actions taken by the Guyana Teachers Union on behalf of its membership and teachers generally. The selfish and uncaring statement made by the minister was first reported in the Stabroek News and triggered nationwide condemnation and calls for an apology. The Guyana Teachers Union has said his statement showcases exactly why the Labor Department, which he overlooks, cannot be seen as a fair mediator to the current impasse between the Teachers Union and the Ministry of Education. More news in a moment.
We can do more with love. We can share strength with love. We can sail off to something beautiful. Yeah, all I need is more of you. All you need is more of me. Our love is all that we need. Yeah, I wanna love, wanna love, wanna love, wanna love, wanna love you right. Gotta let it love, let it love, let it love, let it love for the coldest nights. I wanna love, wanna love, wanna love, wanna love, wanna love you right. Gotta let it love, let it love, let it love, let it love for the coldest nights. So can we?
Welcome back. Well, if it's not one problem, it's another for the Ministry of Education. Several small security companies have complained to the Education Ministry that although they have contracts lasting until the end of this year, a large security company that recently won the contract for schools across the country has been moving in and taking over security of the schools. Some of the managers of the security companies said they met with the Education Minister and she promised that she was going to look into their concerns. They said, however, that while they understand that she now has a lot on her plate with the striking teachers and all, they're hoping that their issue will also be addressed.
July the 1st, we hear Mr. Calabar coming and put guards on the location, and he come and he said that he's taking over. But he didn't bring no guard, he bring slip and give our workers, and our worker refused his slip. Then we write the President, the Excellency, and when we write him, we get a letter stating that we must come and see the minister. When we come and see the minister, she heard all what's going on. Number one, we getting paid below minimum range. And she said she's going to look into all of these and late pay. We work 1 month to 1 month, we getting paid till the 15th of the next month.
Yeah. So there wasn't a warning, anything?
They never had no bidding for Georgetown schools, no bidding whatsoever. They bid for the admin billions and what else? Admin billions, ministry billions, those are the billions. They never bid for no schools in Georgetown.
Present now we have 40 yards. And one of the schools they don't take over one multilateral and 7 yards gone from there. These people don't have no work. Where are they going to work? Where are they going to earn a next monthly salary from? They ain't telling me nothing. And this thing can cause problem and it can lead to, I don't know what's going to happen.
So we just kind of asking if when the minister finished with the problem that he's facing right now, no, very different for we right now. So when she finish, she could kind of call a meeting. We only get the problem sorted out. That's all we're asking for.
The managers admitted that they did not bid for the new contract since as small companies, they would not have been able to compete. They reportedly got small contracts to overlook security at some schools and education buildings when a large company walked away from the contract a few years ago. Let's tell you now that local telecommunications service provider GTT has parted ways with 12 of its employees, including 4 managers, over alleged financial irregularities. In a statement today, the company explained that during a routine internal review of financial procedures, suspicious activities which warranted further investigation were found. Consequently, the company said reorganization of staff resources was required to ensure and maintain integrity and smooth operation. As part of that process, 12 staffers were terminated. The company assures the public that no adverse impact to any customer was realized, and the review and findings bode well for the customers and were necessary for the evolution of the organization. The press statement also quoted the GDT CEO Justin Ned as saying that the company constantly reviews systems, procedures, and resources to maintain an organization that operates at the highest standard of transparency and integrity. And that means that the actions must align with a strong value system and high ethical benchmarks as the company strives to make itself the best place to work in Guyana by 2020. News source understands from sources close to the company that the alleged financial irregularities involving some of the managers were related to the mobile money application and payments that were being made. According to reports, it was found that because the system allowed for the received payments to be recorded weekly, some employees may have been operating a mini loan agency of their own, lending the money to persons outside the company but having it returned in time for the period for recording. Some of the managers who have been fired were recently promoted and overlooked operations at some of the GDT stores. The company did not say whether it planned to take further action against the now former employees. The interdicted Ghana Defense Force officer Irwin Sandy, who was accused of shooting his reputed wife to death, has been committed to stand a high court trial before a judge and jury. Principal Magistrate Judy Latchman today ruled that a good enough case has been made out against the accused over the murder of Breonna Payne. The woman was gunned down in Alexander Village on the 1st of April, while the two were involved in an argument. In handing down her decision today, Magistrate Latchman told the court that she believes sufficient evidence has been produced by the prosecution to present a strong case to a judge and jury. During the course of the preliminary inquiry, the man's attorneys had requested a psychiatric evaluation. That evaluation was done, and psychiatrist Dr. Byro Harry in his report said the man is fit to stand trial for the murder of his reputed wife. In the report, the psychiatrist also pointed out that the military officer was quiet and cooperative throughout the evaluation, although tearful in many instances. According to sources familiar with the report, it was also pointed out in the report that Sandy referred to having suffered from nervous problems as a child, but has no history of any mental issue and never received any treatment for any mental disorder. The shooting deaths of travel agent Breonna Payne sent shockwaves throughout the country. She was gunned down with several eyewitnesses around. She was shot 14 times to the body, including once to the head. Just after the shooting, Sandy drove himself to a police station and surrendered. He also handed over the murder weapon, which was a gun that had been issued to him by the Ghana Defense Force. The two had reportedly been experiencing turbulent times in their relationship, and the woman had complained to friends about him being abusive towards her. He remains in custody as the trial moves to the High Court. Recently appointed Deputy Police Commissioner Lyndon Alves is the new crime chief. He takes over the law enforcement department from his fellow Deputy Commissioner Paul Williams, who will now be in charge of force administration. The Guyana Police Force has also announced that Deputy Police Commissioner Maxine Graham will be in charge of operations, and Deputy Commissioner Nigel Hoppy will now head the force's intelligence department. The four were recently promoted and appointed to the Deputy Police Commissioner positions as Leslie James became the new Commissioner of Police. The Guyana Police Force has also announced that Assistant Police Commissioner Clifton Hicken will now take charge as the new commander of B Division. Hicken was most recently involved in the force's operations department. Additionally, a new traffic chief has been appointed. Superintendent Lyndon Alves will now take over that job, while Superintendent Dion Moore will now be second in command of D Division. Senior Superintendent Calvin Brutus will now serve as commander for C Division, and Superintendent Ramesh Ashram will be the traffic officer in charge of A Division. And that's your News Source Evening Bulletin for tonight. Gordon Mosley reporting.